So I want to do something a little new on the channel today. I've never been a big proponent of writing down field reports, but I have always been a really big proponent of remembering the past, learning from it, growing from it. And so what I want to do is share some of my personal field reports with you so that you can learn from my lessons without having to make some of the mistakes. So there's going to be a lot of field reports that will be, pretty inspirational, pretty amazing. But I wanted to start with one that's actually rather embarrassing. Okay? And this is going to be the field report of the first date I was ever on in my entire life. This is when I was 16 years old. I wasn't even formally doing game. I kind of accidented into it. This is the first date I was ever on. So the way it worked is I was 16 years old. We're on a junior in high school trip. So we're all out in the woods on this excursion, junior, whatever, fucking leadership trip, whatever. And we did this game. It's like one of those trust games where everybody's blindfolded and we had to walk through the forest and trust that the person in front of us wouldn't run us into a tree, essentially. Right? And the teachers are leading us through a winding path through the forest. Right? So just trusting people or whatever. So it just so happened the girl right in front of me for this particular game was this new girl in the class who I hadn't really met, who just turned out when we'd been bathing in the river, happened to have a really incredible body, and all the guys were like, holy shit, where'd that come from? So I was kind of a little aroused, a little turned on, and I made maybe the first bold move I've ever made with a girl in my entire life at that point, which was I'm sitting there with my hands on her shoulders, and I just sort of started very gently massaging the shoulders. Which for me was very daring, but whatever. It just kind of happened. I wasn't even really thinking about it. It was almost an absent thing. And then she said, "Ooh, I didn't know we were getting a back massage." Quietly-ish, so only I heard it, but definitely I heard it. So I immediately froze. I was like, "Oh shit, I've been caught." She caught me giving her a back massage. I'm the jig is up, right? But then when I stopped, she's like, "I didn't say to stop." Right, and so immediately, this is extremely embarrassing. I'm sitting here in these track pants, and I immediately got super hard. So we're walking through the forest. My hands are on her shoulders. I get boner in my pants, and we're walking. I can't hide it. The only fortunate thing about it is that all the students had their eyes covered, so none of the students saw it. But I'm sure every single teacher was just sitting there what the fuck is going on? In any case, I took from that little interaction that she probably liked me. And so it came to be that we ended up going out. I mean, if anything, she almost asked me out probably more than I asked her out. But in any case, we ended up set up to go have a date, right? This is the first date of my whole life. I'm so excited. There's also, I just got in a car. So I actually finally had the autonomy to date. I'm yes, I'm a man. This is great. I finally made it, right? And I was so excited that I went and I bought a new shirt for the date, right? I bought a new, I forgot what the brand was. It was this really preppy kind of brand or whatever, but it's this black soft collared shirt, nothing special at all. But I was oh, this is the shirt. This is the new attractive stylish shirt that I'll wear on the date. And I wore khakis instead of jeans, so I got all dressed up for my date. But I didn't really know what was going to happen on a date, and I was super nervous because up to this point in my life I'd been so scared of ever going on a date because I knew I didn't know what to do. Right? And I was worried that I would be lost and confused, or I was worried I'd make the wrong move and then everybody at school would laugh at me or something like that, right? And so I went into this date with basically the idea that I wanted to not mess it up more than anything else. Also at this point, at this age, the idea of having sex to me just seemed kind of out of the question. Not that if you'd asked me, is it out of the question, I would have said it, but it just wasn't in my reality. So I came to this date with kind of from kind of a bad place. Anyway, I get to her house to pick her up. She says bye to her parents and jumps out really, really fast. And I'm whoa, what's going on? She's did you want to talk to my parents? I'm no, I guess not. She's okay, come on, there's a couple places I know, I'll take you. And so she actually took me on the date, took me out to go walk around, get some food, took me to meet just this one friend and hang out for a little bit that she knew. And then we went to go rent a movie and then go back to her place and watch the movie. So basically this girl's doing all the work for me. This girl's helping me the entire way, right? And I'm just complete passenger. And granted, I'm not really helping my case, but she was into me enough I wasn't really hurting my case, right? But remember, I'm coming into this really scared of making mistakes, right? So now we're gonna go rent the movie. We get to the video store. This is when Blockbuster Video was still a thing. And I'm sitting there, I'm what's the perfect movie for my first date ever? So I sit there going through one movie, reading the back, going through another movie, trying to pick the right movie. No, this one's not good enough. This one's not good enough. I probably spent about 35 minutes trying to pick a fucking movie. And she was just getting more and more what the fuck, annoyed, whatever. And eventually she just like goes, ugh, grabs it like the movie that's in front of me at that moment, which is like the most god-awful movie ever. And she's like, come on, we're leaving, right? Takes me back to her place, watches the movie, and then she literally, I sit on the couch to watch the movie, and she sits like on the farthest away point on the couch possible, because she was just fucking completely done. Like, so this girl that basically was coming on to me sexually, had invited me on the date, had suggested a date that gets me back to her place, because of my indecision, because of my lack of willingness to make a mistake, I made the biggest mistake, right? That was a situation where, in all likelihood, like, sex should have happened. Like, I probably should have lost my virginity that night, right, on my first date. Not because I did anything particularly well, but because I'd already done well before, and quite frankly, because I had a good reputation at the school. Like, I was one of the, one of the soccer players, so I had this kind of rep for her, like as a new girl. Oh, he's like, one of the captains of the soccer team, etc. So, in any case, that's where we were. And the funny, sad thing about it, I guess happy sad, is as I left, right, having not kissed her, not had sex with her, I'd gotten less physical with her on the date than I did when I was massaging her shoulders in the woods, right? I'd made negative progress, but I was literally so happy that I hadn't fucked it up, as if I hadn't fucked it up, right? I was so happy that I hadn't like brutally embarrassed myself, that I like was speeding home, passing cars, like playing the music loud, bouncing on the stone, like, thank God, yeah, great date. And then I called her up afterwards, to hang out again. And she's like, yeah, no, I think of you more as a friend. And that was the last of that. Yeah. To make matters worse, like about a month later, one of the other guys on the soccer team, like, definitely fucked her. But, so yeah, that was fun. In any case, though, I tell this story to you for a few reasons. Number one, I want you to realize I came from a very chody background, probably as bad or worse. Like, I had every opportunity. I basically had a girl, really cute girl, fed to me on a silver platter, right? And I didn't even know what to do with it. So you guys may look at my infield now, you may hear me now and think, oh, Todd has it all figured out. There was a time when I didn't. I want to express that to you, because I came from a place of knowing nothing, right? And if I could get to where I am now, you absolutely can too. But the other major lesson I want to point out to you is the importance of assertiveness and leading, okay? If I had picked any single movie in that video store, it probably would have been fine. The issue wasn't what movie to pick. The issue was that I cared, and that I was hesitant, and that I wasn't willing to make a mistake, right? It made me seem super needy. It made me seem like super agenda'd, to be fair, right? And it made me no fun, right? Because I was like way too calculating, way too like I have to figure out the exact perfect. It's not fun. Girl wants a guy, like, the girl is evaluating what you'll be like in bed from your actions, right? So if the girl's thinking, what is he like in bed? What in bed is the guy who spends 45 minutes looking through movie titles to pick the right movie like, right? What are you gonna be like in bed thinking like, excuse me, ma'am, is this the right angle? Can I go in this? I mean, it's fucked up, all right? So in any case, embarrassing story on many levels, the boner as well as the date. But again, I come from humble beginnings. I've been there, but I wanna let you know, wherever you're coming from, you can get really fucking good at this, and you do need to be assertive. You need to take risks. The goal in game is not to not make mistakes. The goal in game is to do so many things well that the mistakes don't matter.